everybody and welcome to That's Football. How are you doing? This is our latest transfer news daily, midday, Monday to Friday. Some big news breaking as well. We were meant to start at 12 p.m, but we're live now, Kirst187. Lucas Torreira to Arsenal is a done deal. It's not officially been signed by Arsenal yet, but his agent, Sampdoria Football Club, everybody is pretty much saying that he's gone, he's left, he will sign for Arsenal. So what are Arsenal getting with this lad? And I tell you what, this is the perfect sort of signing. This is the sort of signing Arsenal fans should be happy with. It's progressive, it's patient, and it's exactly the sort of player that could come into the league and in 2 or 3 years' time be one of the better midfielders in Europe. And that's what Arsenal need to look at. Arsenal at the moment are in a transition. They're nowhere near the league title. As I've said many a times, if they can finish 4th this season, their fans should celebrate it like they've won the league because they are so far away. And the squad needs a rebuild, and Emery is making signings that I think as an outsider look really interesting. So Lucas Torreira, Uruguay, played for them yesterday. He's not a first teamer for Uruguay. He's a squad player, but he's in his early 20s. He's 5'6". He sort of plays as a CDM, but he's very good on the ball. He can carry the ball, he can pass the ball, and he's tenacious in the tackle. And, you know, they're going to probably pay 20 to 30 million pounds for this lad. And he's good. He's a good player, and he's a good signing for Arsenal. He's not the sort of signing that Man City or United or Liverpool would go for because they're looking a little bit higher on the shelf. But he is a player that you get middle of the shelf, you bring him in, and if he does well, he can become a top shelf player in the future. And I think Arsenal need to be looking at that sort of player. They haven't got the big money. They haven't got the pull of Champions League football. They've got to build. But you know what? It's not all about top shelf signings anyway. It's not. You can buy players for decent prices that can come in with potential, and if they fulfil that potential, you've got stars on your hands, and that's what I believe Lucas Torreira is. Lichtsteiner is just a backup 33-year-old, isn't he? But this lad, early 20s, really can give them something, and I think it's a good deal for Arsenal. He's a good player, says Salim, and Anthony Muller says I don't know the bloke, and you probably wouldn't, but he played well yesterday, says Kirst187, and we have got the World Cup games today as well. Argentina versus Nigeria at 7 o'clock tonight, and then France-Denmark at 3 o'clock. But good signing for Arsenal. When they officially announce it, they may wait till after the World Cup because he's part of the World Cup squad. But the deal done, and another good deal for them to go on top of it. Some bad news from the World Cup. This is massive if you're a West Ham fan. Or it's just very sad. Lanzini, who's 25, one of their better players, West Ham, got injured as part of the Argentina World Cup squad, and apparently he's going to be out for a whole year, which is really, really, really sad. But interesting news around Diego Godin. We spoke about him yesterday. He's available for as little as £18 million. 1 year left on his contract at Atletico Madrid. 32 years of age. I know we talk about age, but I think a lot of clubs, especially, I mean, he's been brilliant in the World Cup, but he's brilliant for Atletico Madrid, so it's much of a much, really. I think he is somebody, I wouldn't call him the Ronaldo or the Messi, but he is arguably one of the best centre-backs, if not the best centre-back in the world. And he's not playing in Italy. He's done it in Spain as well, which is a better, faster league. So I think there'll be a lot of clubs looking at him. Very, very good signing if he decides to leave Atletico Madrid. There was something I spoke about this morning, actually. Verratti for Pogba deal. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Paul Pogba's already said he doesn't want to play in Paris, and it would be a big step down for Pogba to go from Serie A, Premier League, French League in his mid-20s. It's not going to happen. United might be in for Verratti, but not at the expense of a Paul Pogba. West Brom have rejected West Ham's 12 million offer for English centre-back Craig Dawson. I think he looks like a good player as well. That's in the Telegraph. And Arsenal are considering a bid for Juventus and Morocco centre-back Mehdi Benatia. The 31-year-old is also a target for Borussia Dortmund and Marseille. That's in the Gazzetta dello Sport, which is interesting again, because if Arsenal got him, I think he's exactly the sort of player that Arsenal should be looking at. He's 31, but he's a very, very good centre-back, and maybe Juventus look for Godin, they move Benatia on, I don't know. But would I take Godin at Manchester United, Pankaj? Probably going to talk about him on the United stand a little bit. I think he's a good centre-back, and I don't really normally think that signing players who are 30 plus is a good idea. But Ronaldo's 33, I'd take him. Messi's 30, isn't it? I'd take him. And Godin sort of is the Ronaldo Messi of centre-backs. He is arguably the best in the world. So 32, couple of years, what he could do to some of those younger centre-backs like a Lindelof or even a Bailly or a Twansibi, or if he went to, say, wherever he goes, for some of the younger centre-backs to play with him for a couple of years would be amazing. And United had Laurent Blanc at one time. No way we're selling Pogba, says Des East Gaming. And Jack Brown. Yeah, I'm not even going to talk about Anthony Martial going for free because it's absolute nonsense. It's never going to happen. And Chelsea are not prepared to sell England midfielder Ruben Loftus-Cheek this summer, but could allow another season-long loan for the 22-year-old. Loftus-Cheek's doing well for England at the moment. He had a good season for Crystal Palace last year. What he cannot afford to do is go to Chelsea and be on the bench. He needs to play first-team football, and if that means another season on loan, I think that's good for him. It's just got to play first-team football. Absolutely essential that he does that. Wolves are interested in signing 23-year-old Brazilian centre-back Wallace, who is a client of agent George Mendes. No surprise there. Wolves have very, very close connections with George Mendes, and my prediction for Wolves is a top 8 finish this season in the Premier League. I really do think they're going to be, not even a shock for me, but I think some people won't see them coming. I think they're going to do really, really well. And this is interesting. Southampton are willing to pay 20 million euros for Barcelona striker Paco Alcácer, but face competition for the Spaniard from Fenerbahce. West Brom midfielder Gareth Bale has exercised the optional 1-year extension in his Baggies contract, so he's probably just going to stay in the Championship for another year. Let's have a look at your comments. Lozano could move this summer. What do you think, says Pankaj? I think he probably will end up going to Barcelona. And Big Bay says Godin has been quality for years, but he's already at a top club. I think the issue with Godin, Big Bailey, is that he is 1 year left on his contract at Atletico Madrid, and he's 32. And it's whether Atletico Madrid want to give him a big contract for 3-4 years when he's going to be 36. That's probably why he may move to get a big contract. He'll get more money elsewhere, is what I'm trying to say. Kovacic or Rakitic, Mark, says Lord Fellaini. Kovacic, for me, he's got more development and he's younger, but Rakitic I'd be very happy with. I mean, I'm talking openly there about any club, whether you're Chelsea, Manchester United, Liverpool, I think have done very well. And I want to talk about that for a moment. I think Liverpool have done very well in this transfer window so far. I think United have done quite well. Man City, not really done anything. Chelsea, Spurs, not done anything. Arsenal are doing bits. Arsenal looking good for their standard. Arsenal's season is massively unknown. But if you look what Liverpool have done, Fabinho, Keita, they nearly got Fekir. They'd have sorted their midfield out before this World Cup started. And I think what this is evidenced is that for some odd reason, this World Cup has shut things down. I don't know why. I can't tell you why that has happened. It makes no sense to me. I keep knocking this door and saying that 2 years ago in the Euros, Manchester United, for example, were dealing with Zlatan and Pogba, and they were both in the Euros. This year, nobody's dealing with anybody with the World Cup on. I mean, with the exception of Arsenal and Torreira, it can be done, but for some reason, a lot of things aren't happening. And I think it's something to do with the merry-go-round of Chelsea, Real Madrid, changes of managers, and it's sort of stopping things happening because there's a domino effect with the big transfers. And, if Bale leaves Real Madrid, they replace somebody and it all starts to flip around. And I think a lot of things are on hold because some players are at the World Cup, some managers haven't spoken to those players, some managers aren't in place, and it's holding everything up, which is a little bit frustrating for people. But whether you support Liverpool, Arsenal, United, City, Chelsea, Juventus, Barcelona, Real Madrid, everybody's in the same boat. Nobody's doing big deals at the moment. And I think what we are going to see is a sudden rush of activity. Maybe things are being put in place. Maybe Bale already knows he's going and the club is going to sorted, but that needs to be sorted there. And I think this domino effect will happen very, very quickly because there's no way that people are sat twiddling their thumbs like agents and clubs. Things will be being put in place behind the scenes, but they're probably waiting for something to just start it off. Which Watford player would you like at Manchester United, says Head Alex. Well, let's open it up. Which Watford player would you like at your club? To me, there's only really two that I'd look at, Richarlison or Doucouré, and neither of them are quite there for a top 4 club for me. I don't think. Richarlison could be a decent backup for a bench for like Liverpool, or maybe a Chelsea. Doucouré the same again, but I don't think I've seen the consistency from either of those that would make me think that they're their first two. Brozovic is better than Kovacic, as Notorious Nerd. Yeah, Brozovic is a good player at Inter Milan, and he is a good player. I'm not going to deny that. I think Croatia have got a lot of good players. I'd still really like Perisic. Yellow Baba says, Fellaini, please leave our club. I'm doing a video on the United stand in about 15 minutes about the Fellaini situation. I think I need to go live about what he said and give my spin on it because it's a little bit different to what people think. But I'll be live on the United stand with that in about 15 minutes time, so keep an eye out for that. Where was I? Please do drop a like on the video. Please do give us your thoughts below. Arsenal fans, are you happy with Torreira? On non-Arsenal fans, do you think he's a good signing? Do you think Arsenal are stepping in the right direction? I personally think this season it's about progression, patience with Arsenal. I think if they get 4th place, it will be a miracle, but maybe year 2, they are challenging for top 4, and I think that's the patience Arsenal need to take because it's a big change they're going through. We are live at 3 o'clock with the 2 World Cup games. Keep an eye out for that. And Argentina versus Nigeria, massive night. Watch-alongs for the World Cup on That's Football, so do subscribe, do join us for those. And I'll speak to you all very soon. Join me on United Stand in about 15 minutes for a Fellaini update. Thanks for watching.